Good morning, good morning. My name's John Wright, and it is 3/8 of 2024. And you know what? When I, when your parents pass away, you're supposed to lay them to rest and such. But when my parents passed away, and especially my dad, back in 1993, my life took a whole new meaning. I took care of my dad through his years of being sick. 2.5 years he was sick. And we had come to obstacles, and my belief in the Holy Father is such that he is all that I had to believe in when everything was running amok. So I was putting my faith in the Holy Father while I was trying to protect my dad at the same time against the people and the entities around me. And then I found out why I was protecting the nucleus of the family in respects to me. Because my mother, although I took care of her throughout the years because I was shamed into doing it, being on that house, living in that house at 15619. Oh no, there's my grandmother's place. 561 Northwest Rhode Island place, Chehalis, Washington. And even I lived in next door neighbor's house right there, Ralph Box. And Ralph, him and my mother didn't get along. But that doesn't surprise me because my mother didn't get along with people. And I was their cushion between them and people. And my dad was the same way. And they were hiding behind me. They were literally hiding behind me. And now that the mother's gone, the matriarch, so they speak of the family that was behind this stuff. And then we got Jerry the Cooper. And then my sister Bonnie, her child's over there. Jerry's has control over it. Jerry has control over Mark Vedder's child too. You could just mark that with an X. Now Jerry's taking care of someone else's children. He hides behind children. He's hiding behind barbed wire fence. I'm concerned about those children of Mark Vedder's. Why is Jerry raising Mark Vedder's children? My sister Bonnie brought that to my attention just recently. And then, with everything else and him hiding behind barbed wire fence and stuff, I seen him what he did with Danielle and Becky Hines, a woman that he married, Janet Noyes, that just so happens has a birthday on my birthday. And the things that surrounds this family and the way that they've set up to protect Jerry Wright, like he's an abused little person. I'm an abused person. We don't talk about that. We can't tell the public. It'll bring shame onto our family. It'll bring shame onto our goddamn family. They can't live up to what they've done, and they're hiding behind children and the things that they've done in Lewis County. Rhonda Reynolds was at my house, the state patrol. I feel responsible for Rhonda Reynolds' death because they looked at her as a threat because of the thing between James Rowland's office and my family and those cohorts that's been around Lewis County in the law enforcement community. The prosecuting attorney, Jeremy Randolph, he was my attorney. He prosecuted the Terry Shortridge's cover-up murder by pointing the very 30-30 that was used on Terry Shortridge right at me in the courtroom in front of my family. There was no jury. So if somebody doesn't think that John Wright, the 14-year-old child that witnessed the murder to cover up this here crime, isn't saying and isn't talking the truth, the truth be known, I'm telling you, when all this here happened, that bowling alley was built in Morton, Washington. This picture right here, my grandmother's house is right here in the middle of this. My mother's in the middle of this. Jerry L. Wright's in the middle of this. My family was here. I was held in Morton, Washington over Thanksgiving that year. I was held with Rich Baker, my sister's husband. I was just at the home. I was happy to be there in Mossy Rock prior to coming in there on Thanksgiving Day. I was poisoned. I remember what happened to me in Mossy Rock. At Thanksgiving, fall face first in food and have my brother Jim pull my head up out of it. I'm sitting at the table, they're doing this to me. You know, I remember getting away from the table. I remember puking in the bathroom. Terribly. I remember sleeping it off. I'd get no help. I don't go to doctors when I get help. Well, if I get hurt, my family wouldn't take me to the doctors. When I was a child, they would leave me to die. It's like when something happened to me in Port Angeles and I was in my sister's bedroom with Patty Shulver and my sister Bonnie. I was grabbing my stomach, I falling over, flipping all over the bed and stuff. They left me. I ended up getting a record player. You know, I mean, and they do things to remind themselves that everything about it is, you know, I've had the opportunity, and I don't go into people's houses, but I have had the opportunity of being in my sister's bedroom. And right there at the window, there's a record player. You know, and it just brings back the whole memory. My sister still loves the record player, but she gave me a record player. You know, she loved me so much, she gave me a record player. She was sorry for what she did. And my dad told me to have leniency on Bonnie when I found out what she done. That's why I came here. She was the only one that, you know, I mean, we've had words. And I've told her outright, you guys can't hide behind your mother no longer. She's dead. I told them not to push it. But Bonnie, she's not so much pushing it. She has to put up with it because her child has been taken and Jerry Wright runs roughshod over her children. And they're using the cops to force people to comply. And for that reason right there, I want to cut off the goddamn head of the snake. You know, I'm the proctologist in the family. When they fucking doing everything, and then they've laid it all on me, I'm the one that comes forward and I change everything. My grandfather, Thomas Wright, had me and my brother Jim on the dock. He showed us how to tie a hook. He showed us how to tie the J-hook. He showed us how to hook something. He was not just teaching us how to tie a hook. He was telling us a recipe. I know how to tie a hook, by the way, so does my brother Jim. I was being tied up on Division Street, right there where Jim Kaiser lives. Morton Jane Doe, the woman, and I have a picture over here, right here, of her. A real person, real people has faces. That's Lisa. This woman came down to my house and had sex with me. That's how I know this woman. And a woman named Rose Bush brought her down to my house that was my roommate. Brought me a girlfriend because, well, she was seeing another man too, so she wanted it all be smoothed over, to tell you the truth. To tell you the truth. She started going out with another man. And I'm a logger, and I'm doing my thing, and she's doing her thing. And let me tell you the rose bush that I know. Now, you know Britney Spears. Well, she looks like a little bit like Britney Spears, and she's cut off the sides of her hair a little bit like Madonna, you know? And she drives a 1953 MGA with knockoff spoked wheels, you know? And I get to drive this car. You know, from here to there, I'm the only person that she'd even trust to drive her car. I'm the only person that I know that I'm the last person that drove that car before it disappeared, and she got rid of it wherever she got rid of it at. But she had one of those cars that I seen Britney Spears drive up in one of her videos. I'm just saying it's there, and I had a Ford four-wheel drive, orange, and I called it the orange pumpkin or Slosovich. You know, I worked out of that truck making money, you know, and Malin Kent, he helped me finance that pickup truck in Elko, Nevada. And, you know, when I got behind on payments, Malin came up here for that guy that was going to come up here for that truck. I didn't have to be one or two payments behind, and I got in a pinch with, I can't get a job. I'm fucking like blackballed. So I ended up going back to working for the Nakanos. I end up, and I've had that truck, I'm working for them and stuff. And they're just keeping me just getting by. I'm desperate. I end up trading the car in. I get a sports car, a Toyota Supra, and I'm working and doing stuff, going to work, and everything's good. You know, like this, I'm working along. And I traded that truck in because I was getting behind on the payments too. And I got that Toyota Supra, and I ended up moving out to Morton next to my dad's house. Boy, I'll tell you, when I met Rose Bush, I met her over at Julie, the whore. Dawn Burgess knows Julie. And it was surprising. I'd go over there and I'd visit Julie. I'd hang out. I'd go over there and see Julie because Julie was really nice and she had a daughter. And she was I guess she was a whore. You know, I knew Julie, and, you know, I guess she had all the makings of a madam, a whore. You know, she could have been almost a mother figure to me because she was an older woman, you know. And anyway, you got to know people. Not whores aren't all bad. They're forced to do things, and they're forced to raise their families too. But anyway, if I'm guilty of anything, it's being a human and knowing this side of the tracks and that side of the tracks. You know, I've been walking on this fine line, I've been saying all my life. I've got the good on this side, which I would take with the cops, and, you know, they're trying to help people and all this. And I've got the bad people over here like this. And I'm walking on this fine line in between because of this guy, because of this family, because of this bullshit that I'm unaware of. And I noticed, geez, I gotta walk like this. I gotta look at this. I gotta walk like this. And I go, it's a fine line to walk. There goes a logging truck right there. I wish I was out there working. You know, don't think that I can't be on the landing making shit happen and slicking up the wheel and making things go faster so they get extra loads a day. Because it works, and people that are in positions like that know what the fuck I'm talking about. Jerry Wright's an excellent worker if you can get him to work. They call him Wide Road Wright. Don Burgess does. There must be a story in that wide road. The wide road straight to fucking hell. And Don Burgess and the drug clan of Lewis County, Washington, they were involved in the Merwin case to cover up the Zodiac killer and the bowling alley in Morton, Washington. And my girlfriend, this woman right here, she paid the price to silence the community, Morton Jane Doe. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't be here. Thank you, and I'll be uploading this morning, 14, almost 15 minutes. I got to get out of here. My name's John Wright. Good morning. Good morning. Maxwell House coffee in the morning. I'm out of here, 15 minutes.